Hey guys, Sam7 here, and today another Apex video. This one's going to be weekend of Season 5, probably just some random thoughts for the first weekend of Season 5, but more specifically, got to try out the new story quest thing they got going. Yesterday they released the first episode of it, and it was pretty short. It was, what did it take? It maybe took me played it with Matt, maybe took like 5 minutes to do. It wasn't that long, and it looks like they're going to be doing the story stuff on the side too. So like with the prologue week 1, how there was the text to go along with it, it looks like they did that this week as well, so I'm assuming that's going to go with the gameplay every week as well. So it seems like every week you're going to get gameplay and that little bit of addition to the story, and I'm excited to see how it evolves, because as far as the gameplay goes, it wasn't anything too insane, but it was fun. It was a fun little, a fun little separate thing from the rest of Apex. Used to just like having the BR modes, and to have something that was a little bit more cooperative and no multiplayer at all. It's not like you're going against any players, just the AI. Just something to mix it up a little bit was really nice, and yeah, I'd say I enjoyed it. And all I really want to see from it is where it goes. Is every mission going to be that simple, or is it just because it's the first one they're starting out? Like, where are they going to go with this system? Because I think it's pretty fun, and I think it's like a good start. It's not anything too crazy, but I'm curious to see where it goes in the future, and I hope that it does have a future. I hope that they continue with it, because it would be just, I don't know, it would be really nice to have that extra mode, that extra thing to do, goal to go for every season that has nothing to do with the Battle Royale portion of the game. Just something to mix up the gameplay a little bit. And the story stuff is fun too. I thought the prologue was pretty well written. I thought this was pretty well written too. It's not anything award winning, but it's good for the game. It's good for what it is, and it's funny. I think I'm fine with it. I think it's cool that they're doing that doing that with the story element of the game, because they could have just done the gameplay, and they could have done it like Titanfall 1, where with Titanfall 1, if you remember that game didn't really have a campaign. It was more so like it technically had a campaign, but the campaign itself was even like multiplayer. So Titanfall 1 was kind of weird and kind of different in that regard. They could have done it like that, where you would just do the missions, and just like pop up with the characters like on the side of the screen telling you what to do, almost like Star Fox-ish in that regard. I don't know what else to compare it to. But they decided not to go down that route, and they're keeping the gameplay stuff and keeping it connected with the story, and having like both elements for people, because I'm sure there are going to be people that are more interested in the story aspect, and there are going to be people that are more interested in doing the cooperative stuff with their friends, having fun with it. But anyways, that's all I really have to say on it. Again, it wasn't anything too crazy. Oh, they dropped the rewards too. It looks like you're going to get rewards. Like, last thing for this, looks like you're going to get rewards for every mission you do. And I forget what I think it was like 3 things. I forget what the other 2 things were, but I know that you got a weapon charm. The weapon charm is actually pretty cool. I just can't remember what the other 2 things were. But yeah, I think that's cool too. It's nice to get that little extra incentive for doing each of the missions. And there are a lot of people that love like the collector aspect of games and stuff like that, and I'm sure they're gonna love that, love having those extra rewards to get from the missions. But yeah, after that's pretty much all I got to say there. Just gonna have to wait and see for the next weeks and see how it evolves, see how it plays out, and I'm probably not going to be going through every single one every single week and reviewing it every single week. I more so wanted to do this first one because it's the first one that we got, and it's fresh, it's new, and then maybe once we go down the line and get to the last one and get to the end there, maybe then I'll do another video and sort of like overview it and go over my thoughts on the whole on the thing as a whole, the quest system as a whole, because it's just kind of hard to judge right now. But yeah, moving on from that, the gameplay here in the background, I didn't show any gameplay from the quest, so sorry about that. If you want to see gameplay of the quest, again, it's not too crazy. It's on my Twitch VOD from last night, And again, it's not anything too crazy. I think it only took us 5 minutes, but if you really want to see gameplay of it, you could go there and check it out. But moving on from that, gameplay in the background here is the last game that we played for this session, I believe, and it was a pretty good one at that. We had a lot of action in this game from start to finish, pretty much. This is one of those, I cut a few times in the gameplay here, but this is one of those good Apex games where you feel like you get that fairly constant action, that good. You really want that good gameplay loop from Apex where you're like, you're landing, you get like your initial fight, you loot up, then you get your fight after that, and you kind of want that stuff to flow for a good Apex game. I'm sure you guys that have played Apex know what I'm talking about. Like, you want to keep that gameplay loop flowing. You don't want to sit there looting for too long. You don't want to sit there, or you don't want to sit looting for too long. You don't want to explore looking for people too long. You don't want to be rotating without any action for too long. You don't want to be fighting for too long even, because if you fight for too long, then you don't get time to loot and do all that stuff. So in like a perfect Apex game, you want that gameplay loop where you get that constant flow of action, but also that balance. And this is one of those games where I felt like we really struck that balance, and it was really, really fun. Like, these are the Apex games that make me want to play Apex, are the ones like this where you strike that balance, you have all of those gameplay elements combining and happening at like the perfect times, and it just ends up culminating into like a really fun game and like a really fun experience. So this was one of those games. And you can even see, like, when I do cut, we're not even like traveling that far on the map to get to our next fights. It was a really crazy game. But one little thing that I wanted to bring up at the end of this video is the charge rifle. So in this video, I wanted to talk about the whole quest thing. We got that out of the way. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was the charge rifle. So this is just sort of like this is almost like a shower. I wasn't in the shower, but this is almost like a shower thoughts type thing for me this morning, where I was just thinking about the session that we played the night before, and thinking about Apex Season 5, and realizing that, as far as Season 5 goes so far, I'm enjoying it a lot. And the only thing that's really made me angry with Season 5, like every other season has had something like a gun that they add into the game, an attachment, a character, something broken, something with the map. I don't know. Every season has had like something with the game, intentionally from Respawn that has frustrated me, and that has taken some time for them to iron out. Like for season, just the glaring one I can point to is Season 3. It was definitely the charge rifle. Season 3 was the charge rifle. Apex has had like 3 really polarizing metas, I would say, which were, when the game launched, like Wingman, Peacekeeper, very divided for the community on that. And then Season 2, you had Alternator, Disruptor Rounds. You could just say Disruptor Rounds because RE45 was crazy too, but Disruptor Round meta. And then in Season 3, it was Charge Rifle meta. And out of all of those, I can say that I didn't enjoy any of those fully. The one that I enjoyed the most was probably Disruptor Rounds, which I'm sure some people would disagree with. But I don't know, Disruptor Rounds for pubs weren't insanely annoying. I'm sure for ranked it was probably awful. It was probably terrible. But I didn't play much ranked at the time. And as far as pubs went, I didn't find Disruptor Rounds to destroy the game that much. In a public match aspect, you still had people messing around with different stuff. It wasn't, there were the teams that would abuse it, but it wasn't like it was every team. It wasn't terrible. Wingman Peacekeeper was pretty annoying because those guns were just super overpowered at the time, and everybody had to use them. And there was also like the Pathfinder issues with like the hitbox around that time too, so that could get really frustrating with the Wingman PK. And it was just really boring. Like, I found more variety during the Disruptor Rounds meta than that meta. But personally, for me, the meta that bothered me the most was the charge rifle meta in Season 3. I absolutely hated the charge rifle meta, which is funny because I liked Season 3 a lot. And despite the charge rifle meta, I still enjoyed Season 3 during that meta quite a bit. I just did not like the charge rifle. Every time I ran into a charge rifle team, I was just like, come on. Would it get us killed all the time? No. It was more so just of an annoyance type thing. It was just not a fun gun and play style to go against. It was really boring and kind of absurd. And the charge rifle just didn't really complement the game, in my opinion. I didn't think that the idea behind the charge rifle really complemented the game. Having like a hit scan sniper that can hit super hard, it was just not a good idea. It was just not a good idea, and I was just not a big fan of it. And now we're in this. I want to get to this as quickly as I can here because we're getting close to the end of the video. Now we're to this point in season 5 where I think Respawn has come out with something where they're like, oh, we can't vault weapons like Fortnite does, because with Respawn, with Apex, they have the weapon skins like tied to the weapons. It's not like other games where, like in a Call of Duty or something like that, with like the base camos, how you just have the base camos that are the same for like every gun. In Apex, all the camos are tied to the weapons. You get a camo in a loot tick, it's going to give you that camo for that gun. It's not going to give you that camo for every gun. So that's like kind of their issue with the skins in Apex, and that's why it makes things difficult for Respawn with weapons. They can't like switch out the weapon pool easily. Apparently, according to them, that's why there's no new weapon this season, is because they didn't really see like a good place to add it in or something. They didn't really see a good spot in the meta to add a new weapon, something like that. I forget exactly what they said in the patch notes. It was something like that. But anyways, yeah, my suggestion would be I think the charge rifle should go. The charge rifle was super annoying when it was good, and now it's gotten nerfed super hard, and it's pretty much useless. But at the same time, I'm okay with it being useless because it's not a very fun gun in the meta anyways. So I think they should just get rid of the charge rifle. I think what they should do is they should just refund people of their scrap or crafting metals, whatever it's called. They should just refund people of it. Like, let's say somebody has a legendary skin and a common skin for the charge rifle. That would be what, 1,230 scrap crafting metals, whatever it's called. Just refund them that. Just give them that, and they can use it for whatever weapon they want. Will it make some people mad? I'm sure. Every decision that they make will. But I just think it's a good time to get the charge rifle out of the meta. We already have enough sniper rifles. I don't think the charge rifle adds anything to the game. If anything, it's just a bad addition. I don't think the idea of a hit scan sniper in this game is a good one. I don't think it has been since Season 3. I've been calling for the charge rifle to get removed since Season 3. And especially now with how useful it is, I think now is the time to get rid of it and pave way for a new gun in Season 6. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and the gameplay there. See you next time.